Good afternoon, welcome. My name is Ron Miller. I'm the Executive Director of the Leon County Research and Development Authority, also known as LCRDA. We're the entity that oversees the management of Innovation Park, this beautiful research park that you see here today. Thank you all for coming out today to with some of this great Florida weather. For those of you out of town, this is the Sunshine State, but we're also doing real well with the hurricanes. Fortunately, Tallahassee dodged that one. But we're about to take a major step forward into making a new project a reality. So we've been talking about this project for some time, and a lot of you are very familiar with it. Of course, I'm talking about building the first mixed-use business incubator of its kind in the region. We're talking about building a 40,000 square feet, $17 million incubator on 3.5 acres of parkland here in Innovation Park, just right across there. It'll be focused on helping hard science, high-impact potential companies pioneer new technologies and create jobs, putting the Tallahassee region at the forefront of innovation. The facility will include wet labs, a tissue and bioculture room, areas for engineering and light manufacturing, as well as space for prototype development. These features, along with our supporting programs in education, coaching, mentoring, will all work in collaboration with many of the other organizations in the area and other entrepreneurial resources in the region to help move technology from just an idea to real products and companies. But in today's world, it's really hard to do all of this on your own. It takes a village. We're very fortunate to have with us today our partners and supporters in the development of the North Florida Innovation Labs. You're about to hear from each of them. To lead us off, please welcome the Chair of the Board of Governors of the Leon County Research and Development Authority, Kimberly Moore.
Oh, no, not a problem. Thank you all for being here. It is absolutely an amazing day, and thank you, Ron, for your effort along the way. Before I move into my brief remarks, I'd like to recognize the Leon County Research and Development Authority Board, as we affectionately call it, Innovation Park. So if you all would rise, and as you're doing that, board members, please do. So Eric, everybody that's a board member, yes, please. This is absolutely amazing. And as we're acknowledging them, I'd like for the past chairs to come up as I offer my brief remarks, and that would be Commissioner Dozier, Kristen Dozier, Dave Ramsey, and Ann Longman. These are all great servant leaders who were instrumental in charting the path that's brought us here today. Again, I am Kim Moore, and as the current chair, it goes without saying, I am privileged to be speaking on behalf of a board, and that we are extremely excited about the future of Innovation Park and the economic development engine that we're creating. We know that it will add to the existing assets that we have here. We have 2 nationally ranked universities, Florida State and FAMU, the National Mag Lab, and other private entities such as Danfoss TurboCore. We all understood up front that in order to create a competitive advantage for our community, that it really did have to start with having a great business climate. It's not an overnight success, no it wasn't, but instead our story speaks to the fact that we were driven in our consistent persistence of pursuing our vision to have Innovation Park serve as that destination for innovation, not only in the local community and region, but for the state of Florida. We are committed to playing an active role in Florida's economic development with the establishment of the North Florida Innovations Lab. However, in order to fully realize that vision, we understood that we could not go it alone. Nor did we want to, as a matter of fact. Instead, we combined our efforts with the private sector, government, and education to create an economic development engine that will be laser focused on supporting and incubating entrepreneurs in a way that removes barriers. And I'm going to underscore that removes barriers and fast tracks innovation, in essence, taking it from the lab to the market. How novel, small businesses at its best, right? In addition to recognizing that $1.8 million investment that we made into our own future It goes without saying that our march to the finish line would not have been possible were it not for the U.S. Department of Commerce and Economic Development Administration, led by Secretary Wilbur Ross. We are elated to have him join us and play a major role not only in ensuring our local recovery, but in transforming our community. Also to the Leon County Office of Economic Vitality, I'd want to thank, and that's certainly led by Ben Pengree and Christina Paredes for their support, and Florida State University, that's represented today by the Vice President of Research, Gary Ostrander, who we will hear from next as he comes up to the podium. Thank you guys so much.
Good afternoon. I am just thrilled to be representing Florida State University here on this really momentous day. FSU joined into this effort and committed to this effort early on after hearing the wonderful vision articulated by Ron Miller, a vision that has the major education institutions in the community coming together, partnering with government agencies, private sector, and creating this environment that is really going to change how we do business in this community. It's going to make a real difference as we go forward. Inventors that come here are going to have the opportunity to be able to prototype their inventions, but they're also going to have the opportunity to talk to like-minded folks. They're going to be able to figure out if they should spin up their own company, if they should license with another company, if they should partner with another company, as you would. And this is all going to be very valuable to them as they plot their strategies as they move forward. Florida State University has a lot of inventors. In fact, for the last few years, we've been ranked in the top 100 universities in the world in terms of the number of patents. And that's significant because occasionally, as I've learned as I start my 9th year at Florida State, sometimes our faculty get lured away to other universities. And during my time here, I've watched some faculty slip away from this park here to Georgia Tech, to Clemson University, to Ohio State. Having this lab, this facility, is going to slow that drain. We're essentially creating golden handcuffs. It's going to be much harder for a faculty member to leave and move to another place when you've got this kind of commitment behind them and what they're wanting to do. I also would want to point out to our elected officials, though they're pretty smart and they've obviously figured this out, I'm sure, is the faculty who are getting patents and who are developing technology and spinning up companies, those are the same faculty that are writing these $1 million and $2 million research grants. If they go to another university, those grants go with them. We don't get to keep them. Those grants are vitally important to Leon County and Tallahassee because they're primarily paying salaries. They're paying student salaries, postdoc salaries, staff salaries, faculty salaries. So that money is all spinning around inside of our economy. Again, this is going to be a way we're going to be able to help keep this here. So as I close, I just want to have a shout out to Mike Tentanowski, who's worked so hard to make this a reality and worked down in the trenches on a lot of the details. And I want you to all know that Florida State University is really looking forward to working with all of you to embrace that vision that Ron originally articulated to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. I'll get this down yet. Thank you, Dr. Ostrander. We have a special guest with us today, a last-minute addition, and we're really grateful that he could make it today, representing the state of Florida, and that is Jamal Sowell. I'm sorry, I did it right. Sowell is the Florida Secretary of Commerce and President and CEO of Enterprise Florida. Thank you, sir.
Hello, I'm Jamal Sowell. At times people say so well, but that's fine with me because all I have to say is that he does it so well. But at the same time, I wanted to thank you all for being here because in my role as the Commerce Secretary, I represent the governor, and on behalf of Governor DeSantis, Secretary Ross, I wanted to offer you a warm welcome to Florida. Even though we may have some rain, it's never a dull moment in the Sunshine State. On top of that, I'll offer gratitude for this investment in our state. Investment in research and development are powerful economic drivers. They not only stimulate human progress, they deliver efficiency and a competitive edge to our state and national economy. That is where job creation and prosperity come in. So as I make the pitch about Florida to those in California, those in New York, those in high tax areas, even in DC, I tell them why Florida is the ideal place for business. And every day as I'm making that sell, there's someone who calls me, and the mayor is John Daly. He will call and say, Jamal, how about Tallahassee? Don't forget Tallahassee. Don't forget the Panhandle. And out of every single mayor in the state, he probably calls me the most. But I know that I get excited about that because of his passion, but also the passion of those on the county commission, the passion of those who are elected. So when the private sector is on the move, Florida finds the jobs they need to prosper. And we have state government here, the House and the Senate and officials who really know the need for business, economic development, and economic growth. So as we have this program today, and as I speak before our great mayor, John Daly, it brings me honor to have this here in Leon County and in Tallahassee. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Sowell. We're very fortunate to have with us today two of LCRDA's board members who are fantastic elected officials who also serve on the Tallahassee-Leon County Intergovernmental Agency, another partner in this project. So the first of those, Mayor John Daly.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Mr. Secretary, on behalf of the City of Tallahassee, I want to personally welcome you, and it's great to have you here. I want you to know that the strongest magnet in the world is just over that way, and we dialed it down, thank you, Gary, just enough to keep the rain away during this event, but later on this afternoon, we'll probably have to take it back to normal and see what happens. But thank you so much for being here. Mr. Secretary, Jamal, you're a great friend. You represent the state of Florida well, you represent the governor well, but you also represent Tallahassee well. Appreciate your service in the military before taking your position, and we always look forward to working with you. And ladies and gentlemen, my name is John Daly. I am the proud mayor of the great city of Tallahassee, and this is an incredible day. I am also a proud member of the board of directors out here at the Research and Development Authority, and we've been working really hard to get to this point. I want to give credit also to my colleague on the county commission, Commissioner Kristen Dozier, who I enjoy working with each and every day, but has been truly a leader on the local government level, and I've been proud to follow her on this initiative. It was under Kristen's leadership, but the city and the county working through the intergovernmental agency has committed $2.5 million. This would not come to fruition without your strong leadership and your history on this board, and Kristen, I personally appreciate everything that you do, and I enjoy working with you each and every day. I just hope that at our meeting today at 3, we're not working together till midnight like it seems like we've been doing lately. But nonetheless, on a serious note, thank you. Folks, I'm not going to drone on because we've got much more important people to speak, but I think that we can all agree about the significance and the importance of the Innovation Labs project and what this means for our community. The fact that we get to continuously recruit talented business to our community, create jobs, give people opportunities, and retain the incredible talent that's coming out of the university community. And those that want to stay here get the opportunity to stay here because the jobs will be here. I am proud, again, not only to be a member of the board, but to join my colleague representing today at the podium the local government investment into this project to the tune of $2.5 million. And with that, I want to say thank you for coming out. Thank you for being a part of this incredible day. And I look forward to celebrating with each and every one of you. Thank you.
So I've worked with our next speaker for the last 8 years at LCRDA, and she served 3 of those years as chair of the board, 3 in a row, and that's a lot of hard work. And she is the one who sort of kicked all of this off a while back, and it's been great working with her over this period of time, and we couldn't have done it without you. So with all of that, thank you. Welcome, Kristen Dozier, Leon County Commissioner.
Moving a little slower today, but taking a moment to savor the good news of 2020, I think is appropriate for all of us. So I am absolutely thrilled to be here with you today And Mr. Secretary, honored to have your presence, and Mr. Secretary, you as well. Thank you both for your commitment. Mr. Mayor, thank you for your kind words, and Ron, certainly. It has been an honor to work with you and your incredible team for the last 8 years. I feel like I'm doing a lot of thank yous, but when you are committed to a project for 10 years, I am the longest serving board member along with my colleague Dave Ramsey here, we see a lot of changes. But I actually want to step back for a second because I grew up here. I am a daughter of Tallahassee, Leon County, and for my entire life I have heard that we need to diversify our economy. We have a fantastic community for local businesses. We have 3 incredible higher ed institutions. We have amazing nonprofit community, and of course we are a government town. No doubt about that. But we never put these 3 parts together to really harness the potential of research and innovation and what it could mean not just for startup businesses, but also recruiting businesses, retaining talent, and most critically right now, creating new jobs. We need jobs of all types, for all different types of skill levels. This is one of the biggest wins that our community has had, investment in our future. So a lot of us understood this. We have been working for more than a decade. I will go back 15 plus years, the EDC, our chamber, others talking about the need to focus on commercialization. And a lot of us really got engaged, but others were, frankly, rightly skeptical. And as I thought about today, Mr. Secretary, I have to tell you that my introduction to the Economic Development Administration under the Department of Commerce came with a lecture about how Tallahassee and Leon County was never going to get out of our own way. We're happy in our silos, and we're just not going to take the next step to work together to recruit businesses and grow businesses. This was in 2015. I was in DC in the Economic Development Administration office, and I listened, and I wasn't offended. I agreed. But then I stopped and I said, okay, let me tell you what we've done in the last 5 to 10 years. Let me tell you the potential that we have, the number of people and organizations that are working for the same goal, and let me tell you what we hope to learn from the EDA and to partner with the EDA in the future. And I described a community that understood this, a community that had established our first incubator, that was establishing a brand new economic development organization, the Office of Economic Vitality, Jim Moran School. All of these different factors have come into play in the last 10 years. We took the long view and we were committed to that. When I got done, my friend at the EDA sat back and said, okay. And he started giving us advice and opportunities. We hosted the America's Competitiveness Exchange. We have done so much in the last 10 years, and it would not have happened if it weren't for the vision of so many incredible leaders in this community. And when I look out, you might be social distance, and behind masks, I see every one of you. All of you have played a role in the organizations you represent and played a role, and thank you for that. We've had a lot of thank yous, but I need to say something about the board and our staff. Ron Miller just said he joined us 8 years ago. What you don't know is that our first executive director, Catherine Kuntz, after a really, really troubling time, it happened to be the year I was running for office. My perspective, I think she had the right vision, but it was a little ahead of us. We need to really dig in and do some other work before we got to this point we are at today. And Ron stepped up. He and his wife wanted to commit to Tallahassee. They wanted to stay here. And he took on a job that was huge with one other employee. That is commitment to this community and taking a risk, seeing this vision. Since then, he's built a team with Peggy and Naomi and Michael and others, and this success is because of your work. And I appreciate all of you. I know all the board members do. And it's because of the board work and everything else, but I just want to highlight our staff, so thank you very much. The only other 2 things I wanted to leave you with here. One is The Economic Development Administration and the Department of Commerce are not just partners with Innovation Park. They have made investment for TCC, for our community college, for many others. And Mr. Secretary, I want you to know that I serve with elected and appointed leaders across the state, from our planning councils, our economic development districts, and to a person. They celebrate the work and commitment from our southern region and your entire team, and I want to say thank you. This is one project of many that is investment in Florida and helps us. This project will address our lack of diversity in our economy. It will create jobs, it'll bring venture capital, it will give us space to grow those businesses, and it is a game changer. I am proud to be part of this team. I am excited because of all we've accomplished, what we've been building towards, but really, today is just the beginning. And I look forward to working with all of you in the years to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kristen. And finally, without further ado, I'm very privileged and honored to introduce Mr. Wilbur Ross, the Secretary of Commerce of the United States of America. Mr. Ross.
Thank you, Ron, for that introduction and for welcoming us to this impressive Innovation Park. Thanks also to Jamal Sowell, Florida State Secretary of Commerce. And my thanks as well to Commissioner Dozier and Mayor Daley for joining us this afternoon. I'm grateful to all of you for your commitment to meet today in the midst of Hurricane Sally's disruption. My prayers go to everyone affected by the flooding, the high winds, and the damage caused by the storm yesterday and today. I'm even more pleased to be here and to witness the ingenuity and innovation that is taking place in Florida's high-tech corridor. Leon County, which has more than 1,040 engineers, has a rich history as a technology hub. And as we emerge from the devastation of COVID-19, more and more businesses and families will choose to rely on American-made products and American-made technology. The Innovation Park of Tallahassee is answering that call. It was the brainchild of the Leon County Research and Development Authority nearly 40 years ago. This premier research and development facility has grown to become a nucleus for innovation in magnetics, aeropropulsion, materials, energy, health, and life sciences. Spanning 208 acres, the park is strategically located nearby to Florida State University, Florida A&M, Tallahassee Community College, other state and private sector partners, as well as the Tallahassee International Airport. It is home to the largest and highest powered magnet laboratory in the world, which is also the only one in the U.S. Also to the leading manufacturer of oil-free compressors, to a technology incubator, and to other high-tech commercial ventures. In the Northwest Regional Data Center, which was the park's first tenant in 1982, and still is Florida's leading data provider for educational and government communities, and it's still operating on its grounds. I'm looking forward to touring the Danforth Tubocore facility here in Innovation Park later this afternoon. In 2006, the company, the world leader in oil-free compression technology, relocated from Montreal, Canada, to take advantage of the park's many resources. The company has since then expanded its plant by nearly 45,000 square feet and included an application development center. It serves customers in over 100 countries and provides employee training through webinars, e-lessons, and face-to-face classes. Innovation Park has now grown to include 17 buildings and more than 30 organizations. It is also home to 13 centers of excellence, which are setting precedents in each of their industries. Private companies, from startups to Fortune 500s, can come here to utilize unique resources not found anywhere else in the world. It is with respect to these achievements that I'm especially pleased to announce that the Commerce Department's Economic Development Administration is investing $10.2 million to construct a new business incubator in Innovation Park. The proposed project will help promote economic diversity and resilience in the wake of Hurricane Michael, the third major storm to hit the Florida Panhandle in the last 3 years. And the EDA grant will be matched by more than $6.8 million in local investment. You should give yourselves a big hand for that. Plans call for the construction of a 40,000 square foot, one-story, high-tech business incubator to be sited on 3.51 acres in what is now largely an open field. The new building will provide a fertile environment for the formation and growth of innovative young startup technology companies. They will have access to entrepreneurial programs that offer mentoring, business and management assistance, specialized resources and equipment, and small business matchmaking services. This project will aid in the formation and establishment of new technology businesses throughout northwestern Florida. It will also add to and help diversify the overall economy with the introduction of new, high-wage, high-growth industries. The Leon County Research and Development Authority estimates the incubator will create 639 jobs over the next 10 years. And in fostering a dynamic and collaborative community, the Innovation Park is brightening the future for the Panhandle, for those of us like myself who call Florida home, and for the United States. Finally, I want to thank the Appalachia Regional Planning Council, whose regional planning efforts were critical to this project. Working together with the public and private sectors, they created an economic development roadmap to strengthen the regional economy, support private capital investment, and create new jobs. I also want to thank the many others whose support is making this important project possible. We will look forward to the groundbreaking and grand opening of Innovation Park's new business incubator. But before I close, I would be remiss if I did not mention how essential it is for everyone in the Tallahassee metropolitan region. Please fill out your census surveys. To date, Leon County's self-response rate is only 62.3%. Worse than that, only 57.9% of residents in the city of Tallahassee have self-responded so far. That's shy of Florida's average self-response rate of 62.6. You're almost 5 points down on that, and it's also way below the national self-response rate of 65.8. You're almost 8 points below that. You can do it, and you really need to do it, because if you don't get an accurate count, you're not going to get your fair share of the allocation of hundreds of billions of dollars of federal funds over the next decade, including money like we just are giving you. And your representation in Congress also can be reduced. The dispersal of future housing, road, health care, and educational funds are all determined by the 2020 census. And that will be true every year for the next 10 years. Don't give away your next 10 years. I urge all of you here to engage with your workers, your community organizations, and your local governments to stress the importance of going online and filling out the form. It's safe, it's easy, it's important. And self-responding will avoid you having a census enumerator make a trip to your home, or many trips, because they are very, very pesky, to administer the survey in person. More than 140 million households have been counted so far in the 2020 decennial census. And I hope I've encouraged those of you who haven't yet joined them to respond today. It's at 2020census.gov, 2020census.gov. Very simple, takes less than 10 minutes to do. Now I'd like to call Ron back up here with Leon County Research and Development Authority Chair Kimberly Moore to accept this very much deserved grant of $10.2 million for the new Business Incubator and Innovation Park. COVID-19 solution is itself a demonstration of how important technology is. There are quite a few biotech and pharmaceutical companies right now struggling mightily in order to get the vaccine and the cure out quickly. And because of President Trump's leadership, U.S. government has pre-funded the production of the vaccines. So once the FDA gives its approval, this material will be coming very, very quickly out to the public. And as the President announced the other day, we hope to have it available to 100 million people by the end of this calendar year. So what more powerful demonstration could there be of the importance of technology? But it's important for another reason. The industries of today, the so-called old economy, although I hate that term, the industries of today need technology. They need technology for advanced manufacturing. And we as a society need technology in order to propel our growth. Think how far behind we would have been had Thomas Alva Edison not invented the light bulb. Think how far behind we would have been if people hadn't invented decades later the semiconductor. Those are what is really making everything else possible. So technology is the key to our future here in Florida and elsewhere in the U.S.
Well, this is a great day for Tallahassee and a huge investment for our community. This allows us to continue to attract great businesses and innovation in Tallahassee. It gives people opportunities with incredible new jobs and allows us to retain the talent coming out of the university community. So it's a big day. It's also a great example of your city and your county, the state and federal government all working together for one goal.
And then while I have